Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review, and we are looking at a line of knives from Tetsuhiro. So this is their Western or Yo handled AS Gyuto 210mm knife. The core steel is Aogami Blue Super Steel. It's a reactive carbon steel from Hitachi. The heat treat's about 62, 63 Rockwell on that core steel, so kind of right in the middle of the heat treat range for this steel. The construction is a softer stainless steel cladding on either side of that core steel. So only the edge or the core steel showing through the cladding at the edge is reactive. The rest of the knife is stainless for a bit lower maintenance. And the weight on this knife is 6.5 ounces, 183 grams. Blade length is about 215 on the edge, so it's a little bit longer than a standard 210. And the overall length about 13.4 inches. The spine thickness, these are fairly thin knives all the way through, so the spine thickness coming out of the bolster here is about 1.8 millimeters. And it pretty much just holds that all the way through until you get down to the grind towards the tip. So not really much in the way of distal taper here. A little bit of meat behind the tip, not a super duper duper skinny tip. The blade height is 47 millimeters on it, and the handle, they're using black micarta, which is a very robust handle material that resists moisture extremely well and wears really well. So it's a little bit more durable than even the black paca wood that they put on a lot of handles. So kind of kudos for them using black micarta. It's used in a lot of outdoor blades as well, handles. The fit and finish on the handle is quite good. It's got just kind of a pretty neutral shape to it, not too sharp on the edges, not too curvy, but kind of average size in my hand. Feels pretty standard for an average size for a 210 handle. And full tang construction. Balance point on this knife is just in front of the bolster. And you can kind of see that core steel showing through there. Let's take a close-up look at this blade. So, of course, it's a machine finished blade. The AS line versus they have knives that are almost identical to these, but R2 core steel. These are a little more authentic, or I should say traditional in their presentation. So these have an embossed kanji versus screened on maker's mark on the other one. And also they've got a little bit more of a wavy cladding line versus a straight line across for the R2 version. Other than that, they are very, very similar in geometry, grind, and so on. Just kind of pick your steel flavor. The construction is really done quite well on these. They didn't really take any time to kind of smooth out the spine or the edges on the back of the blade, the choil. So you'll probably want to smooth those out with a little bit of sandpaper to clean it up a little bit. It's pretty sharp right out of the box. There are quite a few knives like that do that, so this is not by any means the only knife that Chef Knives to Go carries that doesn't polish those areas, but it's a quick 10-minute job with some strips of sandpaper to accomplish that feat. You've got some convex to the grind, even though it's a fairly thin knife. You've got a little bit of convex grind down to the edge, and you can definitely see the cladding layer peeking through, or I should say the core steel peeking through at the edge where the cladding meets the core steel. Let's take a look at it on our cutting board. It's a fairly stiff knife also for the thinness of it. It's as I said, fairly stiff. Let's take a look. What does this look like on a cutting board? Let's take a look. The 175 was really curvy. This one has just, it's fairly curvy as well. The 210, it's got a touch of a flat near the heel, but not much. So you'll get a little bit more of a flattish area, less of a curve, shall we say, because of the length of the blade. But they still have a fairly generous belly towards the tip. And I can get pretty high on here before I dig in the tip in the cutting board. The profile is quite smooth. They've done a nice job with the profile, no bumps or dips or anything, and it is a smooth rocker. So this might fit rocking techniques well as maybe push-pull cuts, glide cutting. If you're a straight, pure chopper, this probably isn't your blade, but it's a well-done profile for that style. And so if you're looking for a Western handled or Yo handled Aogami super blade, maybe a line knife possibly, longer than the 175, you can take your pick of flavors. I've got a separate video for the R2 version, but this is the AS or Aogami super version. The Tetsuhiro Yo or Western AS Gyuto 210mm knife.